Hey, Pat Rigsby here, and in this episode, I want to talk with you about what you need to do if you're forced to reclose your gym. There are a lot of states that are asking gyms to reclose as well as many small businesses, so let's get to it. So let's talk about reclosing. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people probably were a little bit too optimistic when they were permitted to reopen, if they were permitted to reopen, within the past couple of months after our, 12 to 20 week shutdown, depending on where you've been. And I think that so many gym owners really kind of jumped into this thinking, well, okay, that was temporary. That's water under the bridge. I can just kind of get back to some iteration of business as usual. And now, obviously, business as usual required distancing and different cleaning policies and other safety measures. But, I mean, the reality was, there's always been a fear of a spike coming later on, us having to do this again for people who I think were maybe a little bit more realistic. So now that we're faced with this and we're seeing gyms being forced to reclose again in many markets with the probability of other states and other cities following suit, what do we need to do? Well, the first thing that we need to do is shift back to that kind of online option, or if you have a hybrid option that doesn't force people to go into a gym, if you're permitted to go outside, if you can do some in-home training, any of that sort of stuff to just kind of break up the monotony for the people who may feel like, hey, you know what, I was on house arrest for 18 weeks. I want to get out and do something different. Well, getting back to offering, maybe a more robust schedule of online training is a good plan. In fact, what we've told our clients all along is you need to think of yourself as a hybrid facility. From this point forward, you are going to have an online training component if you're smart, if you're savvy, because for the foreseeable future, there are going to be a number of people who don't feel comfortable coming back in a gym. And then even beyond that, if you've seen any of the articles that have been out, like the more recent one in Time magazine, saying that this has kind of been a wake-up call that people recognize they don't need a gym to be healthy. Some people may take that as a slap in the face or somebody downgrading what we do in our industry. I see it as an opportunity. Those people still need direction. Those people need to have somebody to coach them, to facilitate what they're doing, to make it easier for them to get the outcome that they want, whether or not they're coming into a facility. So getting more committed to doing online training to make your business a true hybrid business, this is one of the things that you need to be focused on right now. Make sure your clients are taken care of. They understand that this wasn't your choice, so continue to serve them, continue to give them some sense of continuity in their life. So that's number one. Number two, we've got to keep marketing, we've got to keep selling. So a lot of people, the first time around, kind of just spent all their time trying to put a fence around their clients, trying to retain the ones that they had. And it makes sense, right? Like, it makes plenty of sense that we wanted to just have some stability and have some continuity for our own income and keep people around. But we know what to do when it comes to that. But we need to continue to market to basically backfill those people that haven't come back, those people who've been put on hold, those people who canceled. We need to continue to market so that, A, we're building an audience so that, we have people to market to. Even if they're not ready to join because we're in the middle of summer, once people get back into the fall, once people get back into the winter, the times that people tend to typically join gyms, we need to already have that audience. And you can still market more cost effectively than we've been able to market for a long time. If you're going to do any sort of paid media like Facebook ads, we can still get out there and probably even get remnant space when it comes to print media or less expensive radio spots, any of that sort of thing as well. So there are opportunities. Plus, there are gyms that have already kind of thrown in the towel, gyms that have been forced to close. So there are people out there that are gymless that's been a normal part of their life for a while. So you can go market to those people, and some of them are going to be ready to jump on board with what you're doing right now. Some of them you're just going to need to follow up with, build a relationship with, and make offers to. And then when they're ready, you're going to be the obvious choice. So that's the second thing that we need to focus on. The third is considering the possibility of using one of these EDIL loans. So many businesses, I think the first time around, it was so rushed. It was so kind of, uncertain. People didn't get PPP loans. There's money available now. In fact, the EDIL loan is probably the most favorable business loan when it comes to terms, when it comes to whether it's the length of repayment, 30 years, or the interest rate, the fact that there are no payments immediately. So it can serve almost like a line of credit if you need it. It can certainly give you some breathing room so you can make decisions without being forced to think of things from a position of desperation. So consider that. Now, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a financial planner. Talk to your accountant and make sure that it's right for you, but I would explore it. I've had plenty of people that I'm close to that run very successful businesses tell me time and time again that this is the best opportunity to borrow money that there's been during the time that they've been a business owner. So at least keep that in mind, because if it gives you the opportunity to really kind of play from a position of offense rather than defense, it's certainly worth considering. And then finally, accept the fact that we've been through this before, and we did it on the fly. We did it with no warning. We did it really, having to kind of build the plane as we flew it, right? Figuring out online training, figuring out how to keep clients engaged, figuring out what might be attractive to clients, what time slots, what marketing would bring people in. You've been all through this before. You don't need to panic. It's frustrating, I understand, but we can go back and learn from what we did in the past. If there were some things that didn't go as well as you want, learn from them, improve on them, continue to market, and you're going to be in good shape. Let's face it, as a small business owner, and for most of the people who would be listening to this, as an independent business owner, you've got more flexibility or more adaptability than almost all of your competitors. Franchises don't have the ability to kind of turn on a dime. Big box health clubs don't have that same ability. As a small fitness business owner, whether it be a studio owner or a one-on-one trainer or whatever else, you have the ability to adapt very quickly and pivot to a position that's going to be attractive for the market you serve. It's going to solve their problems and fill their needs. So take advantage of that. It's a competitive advantage that you have. And coupled with the other things that we talked about, it's going to put you in the highest possible situation to succeed. Thanks for watching. If you click the first link in either the description or the link in the pinned comment, you can get my latest book, The Ideal Business Formula, for free. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button for me. If you have any questions or comments or video requests, leave me a comment below and I'll be quick to respond. And lastly, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm posting videos weekly now, and if you turn your notification bell on, you'll be sure to get them all.